What's going on, YouTube? Today we're gonna do a quick tip. I've had a lot of people ask me how to air a quarter pipe, so today we're gonna look at how to air a quarter pipe. This is how I do it, and with what I'm teaching you here, I hope you guys can take away and try it on your own in a safe environment. So let's get it. You're gonna wanna find a quarter pipe, like the one behind me. You wanna make sure that transition comes up to starting a vert wall or actually has some vert on the wall. If you don't do that, there's no vert line, and so it gets real tough to air it and come back in. What's gonna happen is your leg's gonna shoot out over the deck, which is the top part behind the coping, and your head and body are gonna come back down in it head first, and it's just no fun. So right here behind me, I think we got about a 6-foot wall, and we're gonna be working with this wall today. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna make sure that we can do some 180s before we're leaving the coping. We just wanna do that over and over again just to make sure that we feel like we know the transition, going up it, and then coming back down for landing inside of it. And the way I like to tell people to understand how to come back in from an air is basically you're gonna wanna go up and just do some speed and then jump into the transition or jump into the ramp, speed drops. So here's what I'm talking about when we're coming back into the ramp from airing. You want to practice your jump drops into the ramp. And starting that out, you want to do it just standing and jumping in. As you feel confident with that, start getting more and more speed and jumping into the ramp, because once you have a decent amount of roll speed jumping into the ramp, that's what it's going to feel like coming down from a bigger air. So let's try it. So once you have those two elements, you feel comfortable with the ramp, you feel comfortable with speed jumping back into the ramp, I think you're ready to start pushing some speed into this ramp and actually sending it over the coping level. As I'm coming up, I'm pumping, bending my knees, pushing through that transition, and then right about, I'd say here, maybe a couple inches higher, because I can't get up there, but just a few inches higher than that, I'm gonna start coming off the wall, and I'm gonna pretend there's a vert wall right behind it, and I'm just gonna ride that, but there is no wall. So I call this the invisible vert line, and that's what you have to stay on when you air. Once you're about 6 inches to a foot below the transition, you're gonna wanna start thinking about not jumping, but just releasing from the transition or the ramp. And what that's gonna feel like is just letting your upper body float the same direction that the ramp's gonna carry you, and just think about pulling your legs up to your chest or a little bit up out of the way. Because if you keep your legs straight, those legs are gonna just tend to go out over the coping, and what that's gonna do is it's gonna carry your momentum over that coping, so your upper body will keep sliding over the coping, and when you come back down, it's hard to avoid the coping and you might get hurt that way. As you're leaving the ramp, it's gonna feel weird. Your body is going to naturally freak out a little bit, but the key to a good air is to keep everything balanced, smooth, and still. It's not necessary, but I highly recommend you add a grab to your airs on coping, just because they're gonna force you to get your feet and legs into the correct position, and plus they look stylish. One thing to look out for when you're coming back down from the air on the ramp is the coping. This is very easy to clip, and what you're gonna wanna do for this is make sure your feet stay retracted in, kind of like you're landing your up in the plane, until your feet go beyond the coping, and then you're pushing them back down to meet the ramp again. Don't think of a ramp as going straight up and then straight back down. Carve the ramp a little bit and kind of send it forward just ever so slightly, so you have an arc over the coping. That's gonna help you out, just to carry the momentum and keeps your body still. What tends to happen if you just go straight up and straight back down in a ramp airing quarter pipes, you'll actually get unbalanced, because you're gonna experience true weightlessness because you don't have any direction or velocity going any direction. You're just going straight up, and once that straight up velocity stops, you're gonna start losing your balance unless you really have practiced this a lot and know to just hold for a second, and you'll feel it again as you drop back down. One thing I always tend to notice when people start trying to air quarters is they'll try to launch the wall too soon, or they'll try to jump, and what they'll do is they'll jump way too soon before they even ended the ramp. They'll be jumping like down here-ish, and they'll be jumping, but all it's gonna do is get you up to the coping, maybe a little past, but it's also making you go that way and not that way. And what that's gonna do is throw you into the coping, get all in balance, and drop back in. And that's a really common thing I see all the time. And what you want to do instead, you're pushing those legs as you come through this transition, and as you kind of come out of that transition, instead of straightening out, your body kind of goes out, but bring those legs up as they leave that transition and make that vert wall, that fake vert wall in your head. You're never jumping on a quarter pipe. You're never actually doing that. You're pushing and then bringing your feet up as you leave the ramp, but you're never jumping anywhere on the quarter pipe. When I always hit a ramp that doesn't actually have vert in the wall or in the ramp, I usually try to leave it a bit early, and that's usually about, depending on the ramp, usually about anywhere from 6 inches to a foot early. And that's because if I do continue on with the ramp trajectory, I'm gonna land outside, or my feet are actually gonna land outside the ramp, and I won't be able to come back down in it as I do my 180. So I lower, shorter ramps that don't really have vert to them. I actually leave them a little early, and I create my own vert line that's actually not there. If I'm riding on a ramp, there isn't any at this park, but if I'm on a bigger ramp, anything beyond 6, 7, 8 feet, usually has some actual vert to it. It might be a little scarier, but actually you can push that harder and higher. And the reason is because you don't have to create your own vert wall or vert line. The ramp does it for you. The ramp's gonna throw you, the last trajectory you touch, it's gonna throw you in that direction. So if there's vert on that ramp, you're gonna go straight up, come straight back down. That's why I really enjoy having a bigger ramp or a ramp with vert when you're actually trying to air a ramp, because at that point, you're just pushing it harder, faster, and letting the ramp do the job for you. And that's all there is to it, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Once you do start airing these ramps, it opens up a whole world of fun in parks for skating. If I missed anything, please let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to answer questions and coach you along the way as you start airing quarter pipes. If you did enjoy this video, please give me a like, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new to this channel. Hit that bell to make sure you don't miss any other quick trick tips. And until next time, guys, just keep rolling.